Frida Kahlo was among one of the most famous artists in the history. Her art is very mysterious. It tells a story of pain and sadness that also involves some political force between Mexico and the United States. Although her art is very popular and artistically pleasing in the eyes of many, the majority of people still does not know much about her story. So in this video, we're gonna take a look at the Frida's life and her source of inspiration for her art pieces. Childhood life. Frida Kahlo was born in Coyoacan of Mexico in 1907. She lived in La Casa, or also known as the Blue House, which were built by her fathers and feature her mother design in 1904. She was born in a family of five, her parents, two older half-sisters, and one younger sister. People around her believed that she inherited her artistic skill genetically since her father was a photographer and the son of the painter. Physical challenge. During her life, Frida's have faced a lot of physical challenge that made her different from others. It all began when she was around 6 years old. She had polio, which is a virus that caused her to bedridden for over 9 months. Then around 1925, when she was about 18 years old, she was involved with a huge traffic accident, which caused her the most harm in her lifetime. The train that she had taken crashed it and collided with a car. The accident seriously injured her. A hand drill impaled her hips and her spine. Moreover, her pelvis was fragile, which resulted in her remaining in a whole body cast for 3 months and not be able to move from her bed. Even though it was a tragic and devastating time, it also sparked a new beginning to her life. During that time, her parents had made her paint to pass the time, which also was the start of her painting career. Her mother had a special Azul made for her just so that she can paint in bed, and her father lent her his box of oil paints and some brushes. Frida's love life. In 1929, Frida had married to a Mexican artist, Rivera, who was 20 years older than her, and she had met him a while back when he painted in her high school. Then a while later, they meet again and start to fall in love. They married for 10 years and divorced in 1939, only to remarry each other the year after. Besides the age gap, this couple had a very complicated relationship, which involved with several affairs from both of them. Their second marriage was as turbulent as the first, and the living quarters was often separate, although sometimes at the side. Her career as a painter. Frida had painted many pieces of art that involved sceneries and portraiture. Out of her 143 paintings, 55 of them are portraiture. Her self-portrait becomes a dominant part of her life, mainly during her recovery periods. She once said that I paint myself because I am often alone and I am the objects that I know best. If you take a look at most of her art, literally all of them express the different kinds of pains and struggle that she faced with her physical condition. She mainly draws inspiration from a personal experience, which consists of her marriage, her miscarriage, and her numbers of surgeries and operations. Her painting will symbolize portrayals of her physical and psychological wound. Most of her paintings were influenced by indigenous Mexican culture, which will appear in her bright colors and dramatic symbolism. In 1939, Deluge bought one of her paintings for an art exhibition in France and said, "This painting becomes the first work by the Mexican artist to be put on the displays in the museum." Despite her health condition worsening by the year, in 1950 she was diagnosed with gangrene in her right foot, which made her bedridden again for another 9 months, and she needed to stay in the hospital and had several surgeries over and over again. But even that did not stop her from working on her paintings. In 1953, Frida had a solo exhibition in Mexico. Even though she had a limited nobility at that time, she still decided to show up on the exhibition opening ceremony. She arrived by the ambulance and welcomed guests, celebrate the ceremony in the bed that the gallery set up for her. A few months later, she had to accept another surgery, where her right foot were amputated to stop the gangrene. Due to her poor physical condition, she also dealing with deep depression. 1 week after her 47th birthday, Frida Kahlo had passed away in her beloved Blue House. Her passing was due to pulmonary embolism, but there was speculation that she died as a possible suicide. After her death, her fame began to grow, and her Blue House opened as a mule in the years of 1958. In conclusion, despite all the struggle that she had faced in life, she had inspired millions and millions of others not to give up on what they love and passionate about.